Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of The Professor's Picks. Alongside in the co-captain's chair, the professor himself, Mr. Ken Golden.
Good afternoon. Clean shaven, Kendall.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was like,
I hope there's not too much glare, but I can just turn off the light.
We get this Ken like every 2 months, and in between,
Yeah,
all sorts of other stuff.
yeah. And then because you know what it is, I find that like in here where I'm bald, the hairs start to come up, and then when they get to about like a half an inch or so, I said, nah, it's all got to come off.
I get it. Well, I mean, I don't get it yet, but you never know.
Well, I think at your age, I think you're hanging tough. I think you're pretty good.
I think so. I'm almost 60, and I still have a good amount left. So I think
I was, man, in my 30s. I was about halfway into my 30s, and I thought that I broke the curse because my father had the wide part also, and but then I noticed like it was really starting to thin out, and then you realize you're doing a little bit of a comb over, and at that point it's like it's not
time
good.
to give up the dream, right?
Yeah, exactly the dream, the dream.
So yeah, on the UK connection, we start off with beer. Here we talk about thinning hairlines. See,
Yeah. What else do I have to complain about?
Yeah.
Everything. So I got a lot of good stuff this week.
Cool. All right, let's hear it.
And some crazy stuff could be happening in the next week or two, so I could talk about it at the end. So let me jump into it. I want to mention just like restock kind of a thing. Not holding up any images. We'll have Fewers and Froling back. I believe by the time this airs, we should have Fewers and Froling back. And on the pre-orders, some people are looking for Yes Talk, the box set, we sold out. And again, that reinforces why people should pre-order. So, because we just base our initial inventory off of the pre-orders, and we sold out. So, I'll get into the. I'll start going through the alphabet.
Okay.
Let's hit the CDs first. This was a nice surprise. Age of Distraction, a game of whispers. Pete, I think you would really like this album. Did you ever hear the band This Winter Machine? English band?
No.
English neo prog band. Well, this is, I think, two of the guys from that band kind of disintegrates and reassembles itself. I think there's one main guy in This Winter Machine. And I think these were two of the guys that were in the band. No, I think no longer. Very, very good balance of like prog rock and prog metal. If you wanted to call it like a heavy prog rock album, cool. I actually hear like a little bit of Queensryche in there, but it's really well done. And I like the cover art.
So like heaviness, like Arena, maybe
Heavier in spots.
heavier than Arena. Okay, all right.
Yeah, heavier in spots. It's very good. Good vocals.
Great cover on it.
Yeah, I think this is something that if they should send you a promo. I mean, it's up on Bandcamp if people want to hear it. I think it's really, really solid.
It's called Age of Distraction. Right?
Age of Distraction, a game of whispers.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll give it a listen.
check it out.
That's a great cover.
Yeah, it really is very nice.
Oof.
But I think it's good. I mean, if again, in the comments, if you think I'm wrong, please tell me. But because I'm an old man, but I'm still learning, and I thought this struck me as something that was well above average. So
Is this independent released or is it on a label?
I think I'm pretty sure it's independent.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, I wonder if Mr. Reed might like this as well. Probably.
Yes, I would think he would. All
right, I'll share it with him as well.
Yeah. Next thing I got in, we do very well with this band. I like this band. Airbag. I haven't heard this one yet. This is their new album, The Century of the Self. Norwegian band. Kind of like, well, when they first started, they were kind of like very much like along Pink Floyd realm. But now you hear like a little bit of like Radiohead in there as well. But it's that very sort of atmospheric, spacey prog thing. Great guitar player, Bjorn Reese, who's got the David Gilmour thing down pat. And yeah, they're of like all those Norwegian bands. I mean, they're not like a Wobbler or anything like that. They're not doing like that 70s heavy duty prog stuff. Like I said, they're going more in like the Floyd direction, spacey, atmospheric. These guys are one of the best. So they're right up there with Norwegian prog.
And Bjorn, man, he keeps busy. That guy, he's does all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Now the next two, kind of weird, but we're getting into now we're in buy or die territory. And I'm telling you this off of listening to two tracks. Japanese band called Bible Black. And I have two releases by them. So here's the story, and I can't tell you, I really can't tell you a tremendous amount about them, but I can tell you a bit about them. Japanese band, their first album, this one, came out on Musea in 2012. And this is a brand new one that they self-released. They're a Japanese prog trio. They're instrumental. The guitar player is the leader of the band. He goes by the name of Rose. His real name is Hiroshi Kanai. This is just like killer shit. I mean, this is like I don't want to call it like jazz rock because it's not that. It's prog rock. It's just heavy duty, just pushes all the right buttons. You get a little crimson, very guitar driven, but there's some killer keyboards. On the new one, this one, the keyboards from KBB is on it. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, so you might hear like a reference to like a band like Kenso, something like that. These guys are cooking. I got a lot of this new one. The band was able to supply me with a teeny quantity of the first one. If it's gone when you see this, guys, I'm sorry. It's what they sent me. So I can't swear that I'll have this one, but I got very deep inventory on this one, and this band's wicked. Killer guitar, great keyboards. You'll hear a little Canterbury in there. You'll hear UK, all the 70s prog stuff that we love. It's in this band, Bible Black. So they're calling the second one Bible Black 2. And it's as I stayed professional, Message from Moonbase. Kind of cool, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You're gonna love this.
Huh, okay.
And the thing is, the first one, you could go on Spotify, you could hear that first one. This new one, it's nowhere to be found. I even asked George if he could do a little digging, and he came up blank. So all instrumental, heavy duty prog rock, Bible Black. But this one's Bible Black 2, Message from Moonbase, and the first one is just self-titled. And it'll probably be gone. The first one will probably be gone when you see this, but maybe somebody will get lucky. Next thing, moving on. Box set from the Edgar Broughton band, Gone Blue. So Edgar Broughton, kind of like heavy psychedelic blues rock. These guys they kind of started from like the festival scene, the British festival scene, kind of hippies, bunch of hippies and stuff. So this is all like BBC sessions and stuff. So if are you a fan?
I have like a 2-disc collection of theirs, like it's like all the Harvest albums on one like
Yeah.
his vocals are like I like when they rock out like the heavier stuff
Right.
I kind of like. But his voice is like an acquired taste.
Yeah, but it's funny if somebody compared them to like the Mothers of Invention. I don't know. I didn't really hear that.
No, they're kind of like a little more hippie bluesy rock family to
Yeah,
my ears, but
yeah, that's what they are, and they were a bit of a cult band. So now the next one, we're going through a lot of these already. Darwin, Five Steps on the Sun. Are you familiar with the Darwin albums?
I've heard like 1 or 2 of them, yeah.
Yeah. So Darwin, the main guy, Darwin, he keeps his identity unknown. I'm sure he's in the video, so somebody from the LA scene.
Somebody allowed him at some point, right?
Yeah, somebody like the LA scene would say, "Oh, that's so and so," you know. But Simon Phillips is the drummer. Mohini Day is the bass player. You got Mac Bissonette, who I assume is Greg's brother, right? He's on guitar. Also does a little bit of keyboards. Greg Howe is on guitar, and it's heavy, modern, proggy hard rock. How else can you describe it? I mean, you know, and not bad, and definitely a rockin' album. So, and showed up here yesterday. I've already had a order more, so pretty good. But yeah, it's pretty. He's got a pretty serious lineup in there. You know, he's got a bunch of serious players. Next thing, Evergrey, Theories of Emptiness. I still haven't listened to it, but it's Evergrey.
I've heard it's quite good.
Yeah, I'll get to it. I'll get to it.
Different producer on this one, which I heard it gives it a little bit different sound.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. This is one. If you haven't heard this, I think this is one for you. Gajenford. Gajenford. I believe I didn't take notes on this one. I believe they're Norwegian, and it's I'm gonna call it stoner rock for want of a better term. It's 70s retro hard rock, uh, some fuzzy guitars, a lot of Hammond organ. A little great. Yeah, it's your kind of thing. It's on Apollon, English vocals, kind of a dopey name, but I love the cover. So yeah, kind of like biker. You know, it's got like that biker vibe to it, you know.
Did that just come out?
It just came out. Gajenford.
I get stuff
Gen-
in all the
Gen-
time. Well, I don't recall having seen that though yet. Oh,
Well, you know, it's up on also another Bandcamp one.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
All right.
This is a good week for you, Pete. A lot of good stuff for you.
Won't be a good week for my wallet, but yeah.
No, definitely not. It'd be a good week for my wallet. Next one. People are excited about this. He's flying out of here. The new one from Is Collapse the Wave. I got my promo. I didn't get a chance to listen to it yet, but just showed up yesterday and it's streets next week. I said, John, can I sell it? They said, go ahead, please. So we're selling it. Next one, Laughing Stock. This is the Norwegian band. This is their 6th album. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're again another. I don't remember if it was Apollon or Charisma. You know, these two labels are tied together. So it's a concept album about from what I could gather, it's kind of about this cult called Shelter. Their music is kind of hard to describe. It's contemporary. I hear like a little like Steven Wilson type stuff, but you get flashes of like old school prog. I hear a little Mellotron in there. It's atmospheric, ethereal in places. Tim Bonus guests on vocals. Anders Boas, who records for Apollon, he's on here as well. And then they got one of the cool things that they claim to be influenced by Talk Talk, the great Talk Talk band, and they enlisted James Marsh, who did the cover art for Talk Talk for like Laughing Stock, and they've got him to do the cover for this one. So I don't know if that's your thing, but yeah,
I'm not much on Talk, so yeah.
that's a totally different vibe. So this is sort of broadly along those lines. Next thing, this is a good one. Just came out. Maneige, the great Canadian instrumental prog band. This is a previously unreleased live recording from 1979, and it's got a lot of different stuff from like the earlier live albums that came out. I think like 75 or so. So I listened to it. Good sound. So quite nice. Anything by Maneige, that's
Good band.
it's okay by me. Okay, now we're ready for one of the greatest albums ever recorded, and I think you'll agree with me. The 50th anniversary, Robin Trower, Bridge of Sighs. It's a 4 CD set. It's been remastered, a lot of alternate takes. It's got the live show from the record plant from 1974. I think, does it have the surround remix? I don't remember. I'd have to grab it. I'm being lazy. Should I grab it? You want to know?
Yeah, that's where you can show off how big and
I'll be right there.
how
I'll be
big the
right back.
package is.
Right back.
Because to me, that looks like that's something that's not going to fit on your normal CD shelf.
Here we go.
And I am correct that ain't fitting on a CD shelf.
No. So here's what it said. Yeah. Original 1974 album, 2024 stereo mix, unreleased outtakes and rarities, live at the record plant 1974, available for the first time in full. Got the Blu-ray Dolby Atmos 5.1 mix, stereo instrumentals. Comes with a 24-page booklet with liner notes and interview with Robin Trower, testimonials from Robert Fripp, Brian Ferry, Steve Lukather, and more. So I would, for me personally, easily top 3 greatest guitar albums of all time. For me.
It's up there.
I love this record. I love this record so much it hurts. And I'm kind of bummed. Robin canceled his U.S. tour.
I know.
So apparently it sounds kind of serious.
Yeah, he's got to have some kind of surgery, and he's got to have it now. So I don't know what he's going through, but
yeah,
he's getting up there, right? Was he almost 80?
I think he's got to be close. But man, he's still playing. He's still playing. That last album I thought was really good.
Yeah.
And I've watched some video clips from like his recent tour. Guys still got it, you know.
Yeah.
So here it is, man. If you want the definitive Bridge of Sighs, here it is. Okay, Witherfall, Sounds of the Forgotten. When they first came out, to me, they had a little bit of like a Symphony X sound. Still a bit of that, but Joseph Michael, the main guy in the band, he joined Nevermore, and he kind of brought some of that element, I think, back into Witherfall. So it's kind of heavy, dark, progressive. They were on Century Media. Actually, it's kind of interesting. They started out on their own, and they were doing so well that they got signed by Century Media, and now they're back. Joseph started his own label called Death Wave Records, and it's self-released. So it's good, heavy stuff. So yeah, it's got sort of like I'd probably say it's based on what I've heard of this album, it's closer to the Nevermore sound than, let's say, Symphony X. So good stuff. Yes, Talk. This is the remastered version. Again, I mentioned that the box set is gone. We did really well with all those BGO reissues, so I restocked a lot of them that sold out the first time around. So we got back like the Dregs, Wishbone Ash, Nibelung, Beggar's Opera, varying quantities. So, they may, if you're still interested, they may be on the website by this time. Ones that we got in were in a little deeper stock that we didn't have before. Billy Cobham, Magic, and A Live Mother for You. Neither of which I've heard.
Yeah, they're both good.
There you go.
Great players on there, as you can see.
Sure. John McLaughlin, electric guitarist, and Electric Dreams. Get those 2 albums. This is one that we had, and I'm restocking, and I don't think people were familiar with these albums, but they should be. The Yanni Schaefer, Catharsis, Email, and Presence. It's just smoking hot fusion. Three solid albums. Yanni was sort of very famous in Sweden, and in the rock world, he was a session guy. He was ABBA's guitarist, if I'm not mistaken, and but he was, he cut his teeth doing fusion stuff, jazz rock stuff. These are hot albums.
Good player, really good player.
Really good. So another one, I took a chance on this based on the names. Sean and Hammer, Neil Sean and Jan Hammer, 2 albums they did, Untold Passion and Here to Stay. I I I assume there's a lot of like AOR kind of stuff on there.
Yeah, but there's some good playing on there too.
I I listened to a couple of clips. There's definitely instrumentals on here,
Yeah,
and yeah, and there's some smoking stuff on here.
yeah. I may have to get that because I had the first one on cassette like a million years ago, and I never replaced it on CD.
There you go. And you know BGO is going to do a really nice job.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
There you go.
I'm a
Um,
sucker. I'm a sucker for anything Neil Sean is on, and Jan's
that-
great too. So yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, and then two others from BGO: Styx, Equinox, and Crystal Ball. I think those are those the first two that they did for A&M. I think, and then we have the Grand Illusion, Edge of the Century. Good deals. That's what I have for basically CDs. I'll jump over to the vinyl quickly, and then we'll get into a little bit of cheap shit. We got on vinyl in the gray zone here, Herbie Hancock and Carlos Santana, Live Under the Sky, 1981. I had it on CD. I think we still have it on CD. And I believe this was released on Hi-Hat. Hi-Hat's one of the labels that, one of the, we call it bootleg label, gray area, whatever, they were probably the best in terms of consistently putting out great sound quality stuff. So I believe this is on that label. This just arrived about an hour ago. Reissue of a 1995 album from Pekka Pohjola called Heavy Jazz, double album, live in Helsinki. Great, and he passed away, but he was one of the greatest bass players of all. He was a monster. Then we got in Tassavalan Presidente live at Ruiz Rock 1971. They didn't ship us the CD.
No, it's a good band.
They're a good band. I don't know why they didn't ship us the CD. We got the vinyl. Witherfall, we have this. I believe this is on purple vinyl, I believe. So, and then I just got a few cheapies. We got in the great Argentinian saxophonist Gato Barbieri, Fiesta Caliente, live 76. This is on hi-hat. Great kind of overlooked player, I think.
Good player.
He made some good albums. A couple of Miles Davis titles. Miles Davis live 1960 from the Free Trade Hall in Manchester. That's a double CD, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it's a 2 CD set. And then this was actually a misship to us. I ordered something else, and they sent me this: the Miles Davis Quintet live at Ronnie Scott's, Chick Corea, Jack DeLonge,
Jeanette?
what's wrong with me? Yeah. Jack DeJohnette, Dave Holland, and Wayne Shorter. I believe this is 1969. And yeah, that's what I got this week. So there's a lot of stuff, but I got some really good stuff this week.
A lot of good stuff. Yeah.
So, and one thing I'm working on in the next week or so, we're going to be getting in a really large shipment of stuff from Germany. The Garden of Delights label, and they do really nice stuff.
Yeah.
I'm getting in a large quantity at good prices, stuff we haven't either ever had before, haven't had in years. Plus, we're getting all kinds of crazy stuff that we haven't seen in forever.
Yeah,
So,
you used to carry a lot by them in the late 90s, early 2000s. So
yeah, the problem is they got really expensive, and the releases were getting a little more and more obscure. But I can tell you, for guys that are looking for like jazz rock fusion, we got some crazy stuff coming. So vintage kind of stuff, not so my kind of stuff. I love. I'm a sucker for like 70s fusion, jazz rock, all that stuff. I love that with a passion. So 80s stuff too. Once it gets to the more modern stuff, I appreciate it. I enjoy it. But my real passion is the earlier stuff, where it all started. So, and I got a lot of, like I said, we got some crazy stuff coming. So, that's in the next week. Yeah. And, yeah, that's it. That's what I got.
Cool. All right. As always, we'll have the full list pinned down at the top of the comments, so you can go and copy and paste and whatnot, as well as the link to lasercd.com. And we recommend, as Ken said, stuff comes and goes very, very quickly. So once you watch this episode, just remember, a lot of the people are watching this episode and they're going to go shopping immediately afterwards. So go jump.
And plus our regulars, and hopefully people watching this are regulars. They're hitting the website every day, a few times a day. I say that it's really true. So stuff comes and goes, and I try and restock as best I can. Some things faster than others, you know. So
Yeah, I'll be doing the same, and you'll probably see me reviewing some of the stuff. I mean, that usually happens quite often. So,
oh, one other thing I just remembered, supposedly I have a handful more of the Black Sabbath Anno Domini box that's coming.
yeah, yeah.
We went through a lot of those.
Yeah, we just, Chris Allen and I just did the Sabbath Stone show last night, and we reviewed the box set, and it's just amazing how, for a time period in the history of Black Sabbath that was so ignored back in the day, there's so much interest in these albums and the Tony Martin records era right now with this box set. It's just crazy.
Yeah, we do okay with Black Sabbath. It's not our bread and butter. Man, I've gone through like 40 of those box sets.
Wow. Yeah.
We had a good price on it too.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
So we supposedly have small quantity coming back in, and if they're not on the website on Friday today, or then maybe Saturday or so. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's a good set. It's a good set.
Yeah. How was what was the one he remixed? Forbidden.
Forbidden.
Was it good? Was it an improvement?
Sounds much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's still not the greatest album in the world, but it sounds leagues better than it did previously.
There you go.
So it's reason enough to check it out. So, and then the remasters of the other three sound really good. They just sound a little brighter, a little louder. It's because some of those are kind of a little muffled. None of those albums had great production to begin with. So the new remasters and mix on Forbidden do them justice.
I just bought for myself the Rhino just did a reissue of the first Black Sabbath album on vinyl. They had Kevin Gray cut it from the original analog US master, and which was Warner Brothers. But I have an original British Vertigo. So on Sunday, now some friends over, we're going to do a shootout. We're going to see which one's better.
Put it on the system and let everybody be the judge, right?
That first British one, it's insane. Bill Ward, oh my God.
Yeah, Bill's
it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And you listen to that, and he said, they recorded that album in 2 days.
Yeah, very quick.
Just amazing.
Bill's doing all those little jazz licks and things, and it's all this big, heavy bluesy music. Yeah.
Oh, that's the funny. It's the best sounding Black Sabbath album.
Recorded very cheaply and very quickly, right?
Fantastic.
Go figure.
Right? Yeah, didn't have time to fuck it up.
No, Roger Bain knew what he was doing, right?
Sure did. So,
well, there you have it, everybody.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week here on the Professor's Picks. Remember, everything's down below. Buy lots, buy often, and we'll see you back here in a week. Tune in tonight. 4 Fusion Fridays happening tonight. Tomorrow we've got the review crew with Jamie Laszlo and company, and then George Lemmy and I will be ranking the albums of Angra on Sunday. So lots happening this weekend, a lot of cool stuff. We'll see you all then. For Ken Golden, I'm Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.
Take care.